Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode on the podcast. Today's topic is Doctor Who, and it's going to be a really good episode because I'm joined with Liam from Australia, so it's going to be fun, and we're going to be speaking about Doctor Who. At this point in time, we don't know. We haven't seen any of the new episodes yet, so we're going to be speaking a little bit about them, what ones maybe we're looking forward to. I know we're looking forward to them all, but there might be some episodes in
Mm,
particular that we are looking forward to. And
yeah.
talk about Doctor Who in general, maybe when we both started watching it, and maybe talk a little bit about the 60th anniversary, which we watched last year. But yeah, so Liam, I say this every time I have a different guest on. I always feel like I've introduced them already. So is there anything else you can say to introduce yourself?
Um, no, you've summed it up pretty well. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm very excited to be here. And like I said, I'm happy to sit here and talk. After trying to limit myself, I think I can sit here and talk for hours about Doctor Who. So I'm like, it's 8 p.m. here in Australia. So I'm like, got to try and not talk until midnight, but we'll see how we go.
Mm,
But
we'll see how we go. Um,
exactly,
yeah. Well, sometimes when we talk about Doctor Who, we don't know when to stop. So,
exactly,
yeah, I'm sure we'll find a point where we think we've got to stop now.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you do your own kind of Doctor Who channel, don't you, Liam? Where you talk about it as well.
Yeah, so I've done I've got Hoovy and Comley on YouTube, which I've done for what 7 years, 6, 7 years now. I've sort of slowed down on making content. I'm going to definitely try and get back into it this year with the new series and everything, and with the whole new era starting. I'm definitely jumping back into it. Um, I did the 60th anniversary documentary I made last year with you. You starred in that as well,
Yeah, I've seen
which we
that.
can talk about that a bit later.
Yeah,
So that was my big project last year. So I'm slowly getting back into it, but yeah.
yeah. That 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 was a very good one to be part of.
Yeah, it was great to have so many people around the world. Like I think we had people from England, Australia, America, someone from Germany, I think was involved as well. Someone from France. It was amazing to see so many different people from so many different countries sort of coming to it and share their love for the show for 6 years. It was awesome to make.
It must take a while to fit everyone
Mm.
in.
Um, it was difficult to edit it all together because the promise was that everyone who sent in a video would be in it. So everyone who sent in videos was in the documentary. So it was hard to kind of because I think we originally wanted it was going to be movie length. We were going to have about an hour and a half. The first run that we did with everything edited in, it went for about just over 4 hours. So we were like, damn, okay, how are we going to do this? Which was when the idea came to put it into two different parts. Because, like I said, we didn't want it. We had to cut out bits and pieces of everyone's videos to try and make it all fit. But we wanted everyone that sent in stuff to us. We wanted involved. So yeah, oh god, it was a nightmare to edit, but we got it done and it turned out amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think the trailers. It's like Doctor Who promo, isn't it? Like when like you're sharing the trailers for it. It's like a Doctor Who trailer. So
Yeah, yeah, literally. Like so, all the promotional content we did, so all the posters we made for it, um, was a few of them were made by fans, but we really wanted, because the documentary is called "The Fans of Who." It's about Doctor Who fans from around the world. So the idea throughout the whole thing, from the moment we started making it to the very end, to when we were promoting it on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, wherever we were promoting it, was always about the fans. So we had fans. Um, I think one of the fans narrated one of our trailers. I think two of our trailers actually. We had fans, we had posters like countdown posters basically of the fans. So it was always, yeah, it was always, the focus was always on the Doctor Who fans, which was, yeah, the main thing we wanted to do, and I think we did a pretty good job with it. Yeah.
yeah, it was because I think it was a long time period where people can send their clips in. I think I sent mine pretty early in the year.
Yeah, I think so. We kept I think we set the cutoff as August, I think, and I think we kind of went. We had more people coming interested. We were like, okay, we'll do it till September. Why not? We'll
Yeah.
leave it till September, and then more people started getting interested. We're like, oh god, okay. So I think the cutoff, literally, I think was only like early November. Like we were really pushing it tight. I think
Yeah. I think
it was, yeah, it was yeah,
mm,
it was stressful, but yeah, we got it done, which is good.
yeah, all in time for the 60th.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think I got a message quite late on saying I think they lost my I lost my video, so I had to send it again. But but
Most likely because I think yeah, there was so many videos that we were getting, and we kind of had to. We were struggling to keep track of. Okay, that one's been edited in. This person's. We've lost that one. They're gonna have to send that again. It was so. It was a nightmare to actually get it all done. But as I said, like once we got it all done, we were so happy with how it had finally turned out. Yeah. But yeah.
yeah, it was great. It was a great thing to be part of, and loads of people were doing it. So it's
Yeah, no, we had some awesome submissions by some really awesome people, like yours included. Um, and just seeing the love that people had from around the world was so heartwarming. Like editing it was very made a couple of our editors very emotional editing it because we just saw how loved Doctor Who was. It was awesome.
yeah, you didn't like loads of people like it around the world, and
Yeah,
great,
exactly.
great. I mean, that's the first Doctor Who project I was involved in for a few years because when they did the do you know the Doctor Who lockdowns, and I think you had
Yeah.
like not like a choir, but you had these different songs that loads of people can take part in.
Okay.
And I took part in one because I only found out right at the end.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm no singer, but it's almost
Yeah.
like you were singing because you had like that they had a person doing the actual opera of the song.
Yeah.
So it was different Doctor Who
Oh yes,
songs.
I think I've seen one of them.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
yeah. I did the one where I think it was Val Deacon, like the song where
Yeah.
Pep Doctor was starting to regenerate, and they sung that, and then you had loads of fans um singing. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. It was so cool. Yeah.
yeah, and I was ashamed. It's a shame it was only the last one because I heard they did the long song, what the Ring of
Yeah.
Aquitaine they did, the one with the Christmas Carol that song. So that was a good lockdown thing I think, but it's good to be
And
part of it.
it's those sort of projects like that, and then the documentary we made. It's so awesome to see, like so many, like seeing the love for the show around the world, and seeing how so many people, like I think, as I said, we had someone in France and someone in Germany who sent in videos, and seeing how different it was compared to Australia. I mean, it's probably different in England. It's much bigger in England. I know that, but seeing how different it was around the world and seeing how different the love for the show was around the world was so cool as well. But then seeing all the community come together in this huge um, documentary that we've made, yeah, it's like really great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's different everywhere in the world. I guess how people
Hmm.
access it. I think it's more probably easier now,
Yeah.
depending if
Yeah.
Disney Plus is
Definitely.
available in your country. I think it's available everywhere, isn't it now? So
I think so.
yeah, it's very different. To
Hmm.
have that a part of. Of course, England. We won't have Disney Plus because it's made in England, so
Yeah.
we'll just watch it like we do normally. But it's nice. So spoiler wise, even if an episode was on, um I have this spoiler free thing. So
Yeah.
if I shared a video, 5 seconds, it shows a
Yeah.
spoiler, but it
The
was a
heads up.
little warning.
Yeah.
But still, it was much harder to do that beforehand for this Disney Plus because you feel like you have to wait a week or even two for other people to access it.
Oh, definitely. I can remember. I think it was Matt Smith's. I think it was series 5 was here in Australia. I think we got it a week. I think we each episode we got a week later. I'm pretty sure it was when I was growing up watching it. So that was. I mean, I wasn't on the internet so much growing up in that in 2010, but it was a nightmare having to wait a week. Like you would get the 11th hour, and then a week later we would get it here in Australia. That was annoying. I can remember doing that, and that was a nightmare to do that. But yeah, I can't imagine doing that nowadays. It would be so hard to avoid all the spoilers and everything nowadays. I think.
Yeah, yeah, because it's all different times now.
Mm,
But like what they're doing for the premiere of Doctor Who, like the first two. So over here they put the first two episodes on BBC iPlayer for us. At
yeah,
midnight it is for us. but for other countries, it'll be like for you, probably
Yeah,
be
I'm not sure
it'd
how
be
they're
an
doing
evening
it
for
here in
you, I
Australia.
think. I think it's the evening for you, and it'd be the evening for America. So it's a bit different for us, but I don't mind
Yeah,
that. I don't mind that because I get to watch it. But at the same time, it's a bit different for people in the UK because so not everyone will be awake at midnight to watch
mm,
it. Like me, I will. I will watch it,
yeah.
but then I'll watch it
You're gonna
again.
start. You're gonna start and wait for it.
Yeah, I'm a night owl anyway, so
Yeah,
um, I'll I probably won't watch it at that time, but I'll
yeah,
probably put a video out there for people in other countries, I guess, just to be mindful of sharing because
yeah,
it's the other way round this time. Like normally, it's the other way around where we get to watch it first, which we do, but at the same time, it's a bit difficult for other people, especially if they have to work in the morning. They're not going to step at that
yeah.
time, probably.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how it's gonna work here in Australia, but we'll find out. Oh, God, I don't know.
It's
But having the first two episodes come out, I think will be really cool. The first
yeah.
two instead of one, I think that's awesome. But
Never done that before, I don't think. I think that's the first time.
not that I can remember. I don't think so.
And I like it, but in a way I don't because I like the fact that we get the episode weekly and there's only 8 in the series this time, so it's like it's gonna finish sooner than we thought. But
Yeah, that's also half my mind is like, oh, I love it. Yes, we get two. That's awesome. Because knowing me, I would love episode one and want the next one immediately. But then also the other half of me is like, oh, but then that means no, that means it's like shorter until it's over and like yeah. So yeah, 100% get what you mean there. Yeah.
and then it just makes you think maybe the 2 episodes are related in some way. They're like a two-part
Hmm.
perhaps. Um,
Yeah.
maybe something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's wait and
Yeah.
see. Less than a month to go now anyway, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah. Not long to go. But actually by the time this episode's out, the series will have started. So I don't know. It's interesting, timey-wimey stuff.
Hmm.
But the first episode, the Space Babies, this I'm looking forward to it, but it's probably the episode I'm least excited for out of the
I
lot.
think yeah, yeah. I think I'm very much the same. 'Cause I think a lot of the episodes we don't really know a lot about. I mean, it's episode two, I think, with the Beatles one. That's probably the most we know about at this point in time. Um, I'm excited for that one, but yeah, the first one, yeah, Space Babies. I don't know. It's just I don't know if it's the title or what that's just kind of not piquing my interest for like a series opener. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
Russell T Davies. I do have faith. It's Russell T Davies. I do trust him, so I'm hoping he completely just blows my mind. But yeah, we'll have to wait and
yeah,
see.
yeah. I think it's gonna be an interesting one. Space
Mm,
Babies.
yeah,
I,
definitely.
I mean, the monster in it looks pretty good.
Mm,
Um,
yeah,
I like it, but I don't
yeah,
know. Just the babies are talking. I didn't think there was actually gonna be babies in it. I thought it was gonna be some sort of space babies, actual space babies, not
yeah.
literal babies. But it's gonna be a good one, I think.
It's interesting now seeing like because I saw all the filming photos and things online, so it's interesting seeing all of that in the trailer. Um, and it'll be interesting to see when the extra episode comes out, seeing what we've seen these behind, not behind the scenes, but photos and videos taken by fans, and then seeing it in the episode. I love seeing the finished product. It's great.
Yeah. Even now, seeing series two.
Mm,
Um, yesterday, see a couple filming clips.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and like the Doctor in more different costumes.
yeah.
So
I saw him in a bowler hat or something the other day with a cane, and I was like, interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and like having a suitcase as well.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and it's gonna be interesting. That like series, like you say, episode two, like the Beatles one, is the most probably we know out of any of them.
Yeah,
Um, they've promoted that a lot in the trailer as well. As you see a lot of it in the
yeah,
trailer.
yeah.
Um,
And
and
then apparently it's a musical episode as well, which I don't mind musicals, but I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet in Doctor Who. I think I'll love it. Um, but yeah, I'm not 100% sold on the idea just yet. But we'll see.
if it fits with the story, sort of,
Yeah,
it's okay. But
yeah,
don't do it for the sake of it. But I feel like Jinx Monsoon's character is going to be some sort of music enemy, so
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping so.
Um,
But again, it's like I said, Russell T Davies. I 100% trust him. I think he'll blow my mind. So yeah, I'll
yeah,
wait and see.
yeah. He talks a lot about that episode. He talks a lot about
Mm,
like Abbey Road Studios and like 'cause he did his own documentary last year. Russell did, and he talked a
yeah.
lot about it. And he said there's going to be a massive music scene and
Yes, I can see that. Yeah.
yeah, I think Ruby
Yeah. No.
has
I
her
think,
own piano or something.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I said, uh, not sold on the idea of a musical, but I think I will very much cling to the. I think I'll love it. I honestly think I'll really enjoy it. But we'll wait and see. Because I know Shooty, like he was in Barbie, and we saw in last year's Christmas special. He's got a good voice, so I'm holding out hope.
Yeah, I think he said he's not a singer. He's an actor. So he even says that. So it's something different. It's never done before. Um,
Yeah.
obviously like
Yeah.
with Barbie, it's a bit odd because he
Mm.
had to change his voice and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he was
Definitely.
American. So
Yeah.
he's not. So you could literally just see that in him, like just trying to be American.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But no, I think I'll be pleasantly surprised. I think it'll be really good.
Yeah, I do too. And then the next one after that is Boom. I think
Mm.
that's a very just simple
I think
title, isn't it?
that's the one written. I think that's the one written by Stephen Moffat, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
But,
that is it. Yeah, it is that one. Yeah,
yeah, I don't like again that like we don't know anything about these stories. So this one I don't even know what to say because I like we don't know anything. Um, it's Stephen Moffat, so I'm excited to see Moffat come back. But apart from that, I I have no clue what to expect.
yeah. I think it's gonna be it could be a complicated episode because Stephen
Hmm.
Moffat likes that in a
Yeah, he
story.
likes to twist our minds a bit. Yeah.
Um, and I think in the trailer where Stewie is saying he's in, it's like the whole explosion and he's having like a
Hmm.
big speech against someone. I think that's in that episode. I think.
Yeah.
Um, he talks about a bang, so bang boom. So
Yeah.
probably
Yeah. No,
related.
I think yeah, like you said, if Moffat really tries to test us with his storylines and makes us really think with his storylines. So I'm excited for that kind of aspect to come back. Um, but yeah, like Stephen Moffat, I'm very excited to see what he's gonna. I'm very excited to see him write for Shooty's Doctor. That'll be really good, I think.
Yeah. I like when I watched the Pandorica, like the Pandorica storyline in series 5.
Mm.
I was very confused about it. He
Yeah,
really, and even the silence he complicated that a lot.
yeah,
Um, but some
definitely.
stories were pretty easy. So
Yeah,
like Blink or something or the Empty Child. So
mm.
it can either go two ways, complicated or
Yeah,
just a nice story. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, that the Boom one.
mm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I think it's called 72 Yards is
Yeah,
the next
yes,
one.
I think so. Yeah.
That one is one of the episodes actually. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Okay. Again, like I know nothing about. I think this is the one with this. There's one of the stories that has like a political element to it. I don't know if it's this one. I'm not sure. One of them does, but I'm excited to see that kind of. Obviously, we had like Russell T Davies writing the Harold Saxon, the Prime Minister. So I'm excited to see what he's cooking up with this sort of storyline in the new series. Yeah.
I think this is the one where the Doctor. I think there's the Doctor Light episode, so he's not going to be in it
Hmm.
as much.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like this is a very mysterious episode. I feel like
Mm.
because in the trailer that you see on the hill where Ruby's looking at a figure in the distance. I think that's this one.
Okay.
Um, and I remember seeing filming photos where
Yeah. Yeah. I think I did. Yeah.
this figure was in the road where Ruby lives, and she was shouting to her. I think she was on the phone to her foster mum, saying, "Don't say anything to it." It's almost like this
Yeah.
figure was just moving, like it was in the trailer, if you looked very
Yeah,
carefully, it was moving, and it was doing the same, and they're filming, and then she runs up down the street. So I think something's going on, and it's it's like it reminds me of that film. Like it's like a mysterious film where this figure just follows you everywhere you go.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I think this one will be good. I always like, as much as I love, seeing the Doctor, especially they're very brave doing a Doctor Light episode in Shooty's first series, I think, especially because there's only 8 episodes as well. But I'm excited to see. Obviously, I already love Ruby as a companion. I love doing the Christmas special, so I'm excited to see her take sort of center stage. If it is a Doctor Light episode, I'm very excited to see her kind of, you know, yeah, play the main role in the story without the Doctor. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think purely because a lot of the time she spent on her own when filming it because of she was still doing sex education
Yes, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. No,
yeah,
yeah, it'll be good. Interesting.
and I think this is an episode where Kate could come to it. So I think
Yeah,
there was also filming scene where Kate and Ruby were just together. Um,
yeah, did say that. Yeah,
and I think this is the episode. So I think Ruby potentially goes to work for Unit for a little while,
mm,
but and then this is where like the vibes of like um series 3 comes into mind of the last era because I feel like no one has mentioned this guy. They weren't in the trailer. He's almost
yeah,
like a distant memory. But do you remember when Russell announced this guy? He looked like a prime minister figure. I forgot his
yes. I know
name.
exactly who you're talking about,
Um,
and I can't think of the actor's
yeah,
name now, but I know
yeah, I can't
exactly.
remember. It's some Welsh name that I can't even pronounce. But
Yeah,
I think this is going to be about him. This episode, I think, is going to be set like with that figure in the trailer where the Ruby's on the hill. I think she keeps going to the hill every day to see the figure still there. The figure's still standing there. So and then the TARDIS is there. So I think something happens to the Doctor in this episode.
yeah,
This is why he's not there. Um, and the Doctor finds Ruby in the end. But this is where like a lot of years Doctors without Ruby, which is why in the trailer you know where she's drinking wine. She's almost like she's isolated. So I
yeah.
feel like that's what's happening in this episode. And then you've got
I like that.
and it goes into the future where this person's in charge, and then
Yeah.
Ruby goes to work for him, and then this is where the Doctor comes into it. So I think that's gonna. I might be wrong, but maybe that's what the episode is about.
No, I like that theory. Yeah, yeah. Like we haven't seen. I can't remember his name, but yeah, we haven't seen him in any of the trailers so far. He kind of was announced. There was some filming photos of him, and then that's it. We haven't seen any. Like there's been nothing of him. So he must be. I mean, he might not be an important character at all, but they're trying to. I don't know. It feels like they're trying to hide him from us a lot, which is interesting. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who he turns out to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that that is one of the episodes that's gonna be a mysterious one.
I'm very excited to
Yeah,
find out who that character is and what his story is. Definitely.
definitely. But the episode I'm actually most looking forward to is the next one, Dot and Bubble. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Hmm.
Purely because I think we was all weirded out when we saw the film and pictures of the slugs absorbing
Yes. Yeah.
people.
Yeah. That giant, weird-looking creature, and it was like hugging, like sucking one of the actors or something. Yeah, I did see those photos as well. Yeah, it looked cool. I'm excited to see. Obviously, they're going to add like special effects or something to it, so I'm very excited to see that monster completed, sort of. If
Yeah,
that makes sense. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with that monster. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And I have a really good theory about this episode, which makes perfect sense. So in the so you know where in the Doctor's wearing we saw it through a glimpse in the trailer. The Doctor's wearing a yellow jacket. Like you
Yeah.
remember him wearing the yellow jacket. So you see a dome. It's just shortly after that, or maybe before that. You see a
Yes.
dome.
Yes.
That dome. People may think it's Gallifrey, but I don't think it is. I don't think we're going to see
No, I
Gallifrey
don't
this
think so.
series. But I think it's the bubble. This
Yeah,
is why it's called
I
Dot
think
and
it's
Bubble.
like a sort of the vibe I got was like a kind of under the dome kind of vibe, like people are trapped inside like a town or something.
Yeah,
That's like from in the trailer. That's the vibe I got,
yeah,
and I was like, oh, okay, very interesting.
yeah. I watched Under
Yeah,
the Dome actually last year. It was a good series.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Um, but
yeah. That's
yeah,
the vibe I got. So I was like, okay,
yeah. So, but I don't think I think it's all a reality kind of thing, a different reality, because like
mm,
in the glimpse of a trailer, we saw the slug like it's like a screen with a slug in it.
yeah,
And that blonde girl, who I think she's gonna probably be quite a lot in the episode, probably one of the main characters in it. Um,
yeah,
so I feel like Melly Gibson has said it's like a Black Mirror kind of vibes, and I think this is the
yes,
episode
I
she
did see
means.
that.
This is the
So
episode she means, and I feel
yeah,
like you have this reality where you've got to do these challenges or something, and then this slug comes at you, but you don't think it's actually going to absorb you. And I still
yeah,
don't think they do. When these people are getting absorbed, I don't think they think that's actually happening. I think it's some sort of game that they think they're playing, um, and then they get absorbed. Um,
I like that. I like that theory.
um, and it could be somewhat involved with that guy that we mentioned, but
Mm,
around like if he is the prime minister or something like that. But I do think they're separate episodes. But they could
yeah,
be. I think each episode will follow on, should follow on to each other. I think like it's
yes, so it's sort of like time connected in very like dot point kind of ways, very tiny ways. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So that one is going to be interesting, and I think for a period of the episode, the Doctor and Ruby won't be able to get into the dome. So they'll probably find out how we get into the
mm,
dome. What's going
yeah.
on
That'll be the
here?
challenge of the story. Yeah,
Yeah. So that one is a very good one. It's a mysterious title. It's like Dot and Bubble, but yeah, is it like because you know when we saw the title reveals, like
yeah,
like you can kind of get a concept. So it's almost like it's loads of people online on Dot and Bubble, like a big outer space
mm,
Facebook.
yeah,
Um, as Donna
yeah,
said, but yeah, that one is that one in 73 yards, top two for me.
yeah.
Um, but then you
And
got
that's one.
Rogue as well.
Yes, well, this one, I'm quite excited for this one. I enjoyed Bridgerton, so I'm excited. And even like even in the trailer, Ruby compared it to Bridgerton, so I'm excited to see. And then we saw like those characters kind of like I don't know, they like flicked their head and turned into like some sort of creature. So I'm excited to see that. That looks really cool. So I'm excited to see what those monsters are.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because why, like, it's almost like they twisted their heads and they're these creatures.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm excited to see that. See what's going on there.
Yeah, it's like this dancing ball or something. Um, like kind of a little bit like Go on the Fireplace, but um,
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
in,
That's the kind of vibe I got as well. Yeah.
yeah, I, I like Go on the Fireplace, one of my favorite episodes, but I don't think Madame de Pompadour's gonna pop up in this episode.
No, no,
Yeah. I think it's
probably
different.
not.
It's the same period but different time.
Yeah,
Um, but Jonathan Groff's character is one I'm very. I live.
yeah. I'm very excited
Yeah,
to see what that turns out because obviously he's in the period dress as well. But then in the trailer as well, he like pulls a gun that looks very futuristic. So I was like, is he a time? Maybe he's a time agent or something. That's the idea I got. And I was like, okay,
yeah,
um, time traveler or something like that. Yeah,
yeah. And then one of the characters says, "This is new," so but they
mm.
don't even know what it is properly. Um, but yeah, I'd like. I hope he's a recurring character though. I in the series.
I
Uh,
like that we're kind of getting some like bigger names. Like we had Neil Patrick Harris. Now we got what Jonathan Groff. Uh, I like that Russ was bringing in all these kind of not American. Well, they are Americans, but I like that Russ was bringing in some like brand new faces that you wouldn't necessarily think, oh, I've seen them in Doctor Who. It's good.
yeah, it is. It's like Neil Patrick Harris. I hope he returns. as a
Yeah,
toymaker again. I feel like that was unfinished
yeah.
business.
Oh, yeah. I definitely wanted more of him as the toy maker in the 60th.
Yeah, I think in the 60s I thought he was going to be. When we saw the trailer, I thought, hang on, Toymaker's going to be in every episode then.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
just one.
that's what I thought as well. Yeah.
Um, and I guess because of budget and it's probably very expensive, but
Mm, yeah.
a lot of that budget was on him. But he's in the box, so they can easily get him out of it and
Yeah,
get him to help.
definitely.
But like you've got a few mysterious people that they said in the 60th. So you've got the one who waits, the boss
Mm,
as well. So are they people that are going to be appearing in this series, or they're just going to be a mystery?
yeah, yeah. Be interesting to see.
Like you got Miss Flood as well. Who's she?
Miss Flood, and then that other old woman who was in she was Isaac Newton's
Oh
house
yeah.
housekeeper or something, and then she was in the Christmas special as well. So apparently, I think Russell T Davies said that she's a character to keep your eye on as well. So I'm like, okay,
Susan Twist.
yes, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, she could be the meddling monk, maybe.
Yeah, I have seen that. I've seen people saying that. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, because she said something like I think she was shouting or something in the Christmas special.
Hmm.
Um, and then she was very calm with Isaac Newton.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I want to
Seems
see
like
it some
she's
time.
jumping through time. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be nice for it to be. It might be the overall villain, perhaps, if she keeps popping
Yeah.
up over the series.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Russell's huge, glamorous story arcs come back. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, I think like I got like Doctor Who thing yesterday, and in it was saying it like Russell saying the finale is going to be very devastating. So something's going to go down in this series, going to lead up to the end.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, but I like how they're
He
getting
always,
all this in there.
yeah, he always wrote some huge, epic series finales, Russell T Davis. I'm very, very excited to see kind of the finales where, obviously we've seen Millie Gibson filming for season two, so we know she's going to make it to season two. But the fact that, you know, he still writes those series finales where you're like, oh my God, maybe like something like it kind of puts you on the edge of your seat, makes you really think, oh, this is the end of the world. Like, it's awesome. I love these finales. Very much like series four, with the Daleks and Davros. That was one of my favorites because it's just so even. I mean, I've watched it so many times, but every time I still watch it now, it just gets me so like on the edge of my seat. I'm so excited. I'm like, because it feels like it's very much like the end of the world, like doomsday kind of thing.
I agree, and I think something does happen to Ruby Sunday in this series. She's not going to get killed off or anything, but I don't know. I saw something yesterday with filming, and like you had Bonnie Lamford like
Yeah.
there as well, and the Doctor was people were calling the Doctor Mr. Smith a lot,
Yes, I did
and
see that. Yeah.
and like the Doctor was saying to Mel not to talk to Ruby. So
Okay.
something might have happened, will happen in this finale that maybe
Yeah.
they want to bring that aspect back to it where you forget.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think Russ was. I mean, obviously, like I said, we've seen Millie film in season two, but I 100% know Russell is going to tug at the heartstrings. Like, he's definitely going to play with our emotions. He's good at that. He's very good at that.
Mm. Yeah, you just don't know what to expect with him.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Like he likes a companion death as
Yeah.
well. He likes that, but really, no one's ever properly died
Mm,
with him. They've always made their way out or gone to a different dimension and survived. So there's
yeah.
always a happy ending with him as well.
Yeah. He's done it so well that he makes it so sad and so heartbreaking without actually killing companions off, which I love. Like as much as I'd love to see the stakes get that higher, that we do lose a companion sometimes, but that's I think that's what Russell's so good at, that making us so kind of invested in this and so heartbroken over these companion exits, even though they survive. They go on and live, but like it's still very heartbreaking. So I'm very excited to see that kind of writing back where you know where we're genuinely sad about losing our companions again, which is good.
Yeah, I agree. Like, like the episode, the Legend of Ruby Sunday. That is very
Mm.
interesting. Interesting title.
Yeah, I think even leading up when that episode comes out, I think it's going to be very, very secretive. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot for that episode, which is good. I think, and I think that's the less I know, the better. I think, but yeah, I don't think we're going to get a lot of information about that one.
I think it's going to lead into the finale for sure, but I think things are going to go down in that episode. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
like for example, I don't think we're just going to see Jinx in the Beatles episode. I think she's going to come back a, a bit later on. Because I think that because when she said you called,
Mm.
like the Doctor wouldn't know probably who Jinx is at like the first moment in the
Yeah,
Beatles,
yeah, that's a good
so
point.
it would be a bit weird. But they could be in the same episode. Something might happen in it in saying you called, but you'd think that would be a later episode where she said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, and then you've got the last episode, which is the Empire of Death. So something
Mm.
really bad's gonna happen. And-
I love that title very much. One of my friends pointed this out, and it clicked in my head as well. That he was like, it very much reminds you of classic. It feels like a classic Who title, and I was like, yeah, it definitely does. And it's
Yeah.
such a good, juicy kind of interesting title. So I'm very excited for that one.
Yeah. And I don't think the Daleks will be the overall
No.
thing of the series, but I do think they'll make an appearance if in the series at some point. Probably the last episode for a brief moment, because I think
Yeah.
they've got new designs of the Daleks, and I don't
Yeah, I did.
rem I don't remember a series that we haven't seen the Daleks. I think they've been in every series.
Mm,
Um,
yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
so as much as I wouldn't, I'd love not to see them because they were all the time, but I do think we'll see them at some point.
I hope we do see them at some point because for me, some of my favorite Dalek stories are Russell's. I think he always knew like perfectly how to write the Daleks. And I think with Chris Chibnall, while I didn't love a lot of his stories, I think that he really nailed the classic monsters. Like I think he did really well with the Cybermen, the Daleks. As much as I didn't like the Sea Devil story, I think he did the Sea Devils really well though. Same with the Sontarans. So I think I think Russell and Chris Chibnall were the best handling the Daleks. I think.
Yeah, like for Stephen Moffat's Dalek stories, they weren't like like I didn't mind the coloured Daleks, like the Paradigm ones, but they just didn't work.
Mm.
They were just in that
Yeah,
one episode and then they went off. If it was a better,
yeah,
if it was maybe a better story, because the
yeah,
story was okay, but the Daleks were almost like these new race of Daleks and stuff.
yeah.
But I do think we're not going to get the bronze Daleks and Shooty Zero. I think we're going to get a new, like that, but coloured. I think we'll get coloured Daleks again.
Okay. Yeah, I did hear that they were the rumor that there was going to be a new Dalek design, which as a fan of like I love the Daleks. I love a good Dalek story. So I will happily welcome a new Dalek design and see how we go. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because when you think of the Empire of Death, you just picture Daleks, don't you?
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Oh definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Like, what's more dangerous? Unless you have this alliance of enemies, um, because you've got like a thunderstorm. Little brief we saw on the trailer, thunderstorm,
Mm.
them running away from it. And something's happened to the TARDIS. Like in the
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
they revealed it, it might be a TARDIS episode, which they should do with the amount how big it is. So I look forward to
Yeah.
that.
Especially this new TARDIS set. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's really good TARDIS. I love it.
Yeah. No, I love this interior. Yeah.
Yeah, and like in the 60th, it's probably one of my favorite moments when David Tennant was just reacting to it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was such a great moment. And I very much managed, because I think a few of the photos of the new TARDIS leaked online, and I had very much managed to avoid them, so I hadn't seen it, which is great.
Yeah.
So reacting to that when I was watching the episode was amazing. It was very, very much like a good mix of classic TARDIS with a bit of New Who. It was a good vibe of both, of all eras of Doctor Who. I think it was awesome. Yeah.
I think it was pretty obvious though to think that it would be white because of the
Mm,
60th and the round things as well. So
yeah.
I like it can change colours though. I think that's a really good
Yeah.
aspect to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Um, like the part in the trailer, where Ruby changes into some sort of creature.
Mm,
Um, I think that's in the first episode. I think they go to another planet just for a few minutes, and she steps on the butterfly,
yeah. Kind
and
of gives her a taste of time travel. Yeah.
yeah, something's gone wrong with time. What's
Yeah.
got to go wrong with time? So
Yeah.
it's
I also got that kind of vibe that was maybe episode one. He was kind of showing her what the TARDIS could do. Yeah. Definitely.
yeah. I mean, you see the dinosaur there as
Yeah.
well. So I mean, it must have taken hours though. I reckon that's just a few seconds clip, but it took a long time to put it back on and off, like the makeup and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Oh, oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah. That kind of lizard look. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like when the Silurians a little bit.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Also reminded me of the Silurians as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if they go on this spaceship by accident in the Space Babies, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't
Mm. Yeah, the idea of all these babies on. So my theory was that the idea of all these babies could sort of left alone on this ship with this strange monster. Maybe they respond to a distress call or something like that to kind of try and go and, I don't know, investigate. I would not have a clue, but
we? Yeah.
it's a
I,
very mysterious one. Yeah,
I'd like them to split up in that episode.
yeah,
It'd be a nice episode for them. I don't know. You get a better bond they would if they were to split up in that episode.
well, that's what I mean. You get a good lot of character development there as well with Ruby, because obviously this is her first time in space. I think that'll be really cool to see her kind of reacting to, like as we saw with Christopher Eccleston and Rose in the End of the World. She was standing there overlooking the world burning, and her reaction to that. So I'm very excited to see Ruby's reaction to like space for the very first time. I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah, because it's a bit different with this one because like no companion has just gone on spaceship first.
Yeah,
Maybe in your second episode, but it's a bit different because this is the first episode of a series, and
yeah,
like I know Rose did it on her second episode with Christopher Eccleston. Um, Amy did it on the second episode with Matt Smith, like
mm,
on the Beast Below. Um, so they all end up doing it going on a spaceship. But
yeah.
yeah,
Every new companion's kind of first story is on Earth, so it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, Ruby's first. I mean, we had the Christmas special, but like her first series story on a spaceship, that'll be cool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because it's a bit different, isn't it? If it's like a Christmas special, it's always going to probably be
Yeah.
set on. Well, not always. I know we had the Titanic that was on a spaceship, but like normally it's set on a
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
yeah. But I did like the Christmas special, but it wasn't my favorite Christmas special.
Yeah, I think the first time I watched it, I watched it. I've seen it a couple of times now, um, and the first time I watched it, I was a bit. I enjoyed bits of it, but I think overall, at the end of it, I was kind of like, I think I need to watch it again. So I think I watched it again the next day or a couple of days later. I enjoyed it a lot more. It's definitely not my favorite Christmas special either, but it is good. It was a lot of fun. It was,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I liked it. I did like it, but I did think defeating the was it the goblins, the way they did it was a
Mm,
bit
yeah, it felt too easy.
yeah, it's too easy just crashing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I did like the overall story of it. I think it was good, like how the emotions of the Doctor really showed in that episode.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, the only I say a disappointing thing about it was normally when the Ruby goes around the TARDIS and looks around it, you're gonna get a bit more at the end. Not the way it ended. I think normally would get around. The Doctor would say, "What do you think?" normally, but it wouldn't normally end like that. The way it did.
yeah. I think um, I feel the same way. But then I also think the first episode of the season one is going to take place immediately from that moment where she jumps into the TARDIS. So I think her reaction we might get in Space Babies. I think I'm hoping we do anyway because I'd love to see her kind of freaking out like to this box that's big on the inside. So I'm hoping we see a bit more of her reaction to that in the first episode.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope like the Doctor just says, "What do you think?"
Mm,
And stuff like that. But at the same time, we might not. They might just get into the episode straight away. But yeah, like it does beat some Christmas specials for sure.
yeah,
Um, if I were to rank them, like my favorite ones are the um the first one, the first Christmas special. With Christmas Invasion. I like that one.
yeah, yeah,
That was a good one. Um,
yeah. No, Christmas
yeah,
Invasion's good.
yeah. I'm glad they're back. I'm glad they're back though, because I didn't mind the New Year ones, but they weren't the same. It's like Doctor Who has to be on Christmas.
Yeah, I did miss. Like I had a tradition with my dad that every Christmas we would sit down and watch Christmas specials. So it felt a bit weird in Chibnall's era not being able to sit down, you know, the day after Christmas and be able to watch the yearly Christmas special. That was a bit, yeah, I wasn't happy with that, but that's okay. Christmas special is back, which is good.
Yeah, they changed the day as well.
Mm,
In the series, they changed it to a Sunday. Um,
yeah,
what day is on? Like when it's on a
yeah, and which was annoying here in Australia because England would get it Sunday, we'd get it Monday, and then I'd have to go to work, and then I wouldn't be able to watch it until that night. So then all day I'd be trying to stay off my phone and stay off social media so that I didn't see spoilers. So that was always annoying as well.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
but
it's yeah, it weren't ideal. I mean, I always preferred it. I guess because I don't know, other people might relate, but because of like my autism, I have a certain way I go about things, and I have to watch Doctor Who on the Saturday. And because they changed it, it just mucked everything up, like
yeah,
my schedule and everything,
yeah, yeah,
and it just got annoying. And like in a way, maybe like the new like the episodes dropping the way they are. It's not the time that we're used to. What I'm
yeah,
used to. Normally, it would be like an evening, but dropping it,
yeah,
you kind of maybe forced that you have to watch it. I know they say you don't have to, but you'll get spoilers anyway. If I were to go
yeah,
on my phone,
exactly. Yeah,
gonna get spoilers if I don't watch it at 12 at night.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
you want to go into it without seeing everything online, but whether you can do that in this new era, you have to be very careful. I think.
yeah, and I will watch it again because I'll watch it
Yeah,
on my own and then I'll watch it with family the following day.
yeah,
Because I don't think they're but I guess because my phone's full of Doctor Who, probably isn't.
yeah.
um, but yeah, I think because maybe they've done this because I think Eurovision is on the Saturday. That it airs on, and then they've got the 2 episodes in between.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting when it all kicks off.
yeah. It'll be interesting seeing it on Disney Plus. I think as well around the world, but yeah, we'll see. Like I said, less than a month to go, and we'll see how we go. But
Yeah, yeah. Is there any like out of the 60th? Did you have a standout episode that you really liked?
I enjoyed all three. I loved the giggle probably the most. I think only because of the toy maker. I think he was the main aspect, and seeing him and David Tennant sort of bouncing off each other was great. Like
Hmm.
it was creepy. It was awesome, and like you mentioned before, I also thought he was going to be the villain for all three specials. So I was a little bit disappointed he wasn't, because he was so good, and Neil Patrick Harris was so good as the Toymaker. I just wanted more of him. So I was a bit disappointed we didn't have more of him. But the Giggle was definitely my favourite of the three because of him, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Was you disappointed with Wildly Under at all?
Uh, a little bit, but I think that was my own fault because everyone online was saying, "Oh, Matt Smith's going to be in this with Capaldi." So I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was trying so hard. I was trying so hard not to get my hopes up about it, and trying so hard to just go into it without thinking and agreeing with everyone online. Um, and I think I did a little bit, but then at the end of it, I was kind of like, "Oh, well, everyone was wrong." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And there was obviously as well, because we knew nothing about this episode, and there was so much secrecy around it. I thought maybe we might actually get a couple of cameos. Like this might actually happen, but no. It was great. But I think it was my least favorite of the three for sure.
Yeah, when Russell said it was going to be scary, I was looking forward to it.
Mm. Yeah.
In my opinion, it wasn't that scary, but
No.
it did creep me out at the start. The only thing that creeped me out was, when eh, David Tennant and Donna were in the rooms, and then you get another doctor going in the other room, and you kind of think, hang on a minute, that's not another one. That's just the same one that's
Yeah.
gone into a different room, and you think, he's speaking all differently, all creepy. And then
Yeah.
I said to my dad, hang on, but that he was just in there. Why was he in
Yeah.
there? So that's it didn't scare me at all. It just creeped me out, thinking, what's
Yeah.
going
I
on?
think so. Yeah. I didn't find it scary either, but it definitely. Yeah. Just as you said, it didn't scare me, but it definitely creeped me out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was just funny.
Yeah.
Like them chasing each other, and um, yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
like midnight episode, I guess. In that sense, it could be people on the ship, but yeah, I think it was a good episode. It was. I don't think it might not have been as good if you had other doctors in it, purely because you'll want to focus on them as well. But it's a good Doctor and Donna episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. If I had to choose, like my fun, like you, my episode is the giggle. I think it was the 60th anniversary for me. You didn't really need you didn't have to have the others. You could have just had that one if you
Yeah.
wanted for it to be. Because I did go to the location a few times where I didn't go when they filmed, but I did go to visit it. Because
Okay.
I went to visit Wales last year, and then Bristol's in between, so went over and close and do
Yeah.
trying to
Okay.
recreate what they done. It was quite funny
Yeah.
because in the trailer you had Neil Patrick Harris dancing with Toymaker, and I tried to do the same thing. So I got my dad to do it for me in like to like, recreate a little video for it, and he was
Yeah.
saying, and then they all said to me, "How did you know that he was going to do that?" Because obviously he did it, and it's like I don't know, I'm that obsessed with it.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I know I knew it was near the tree where it was,
Yeah.
but the only disappointing thing about it was only a few minutes that they were there. I was thinking
Hmm.
maybe it was a bit longer, but it was good. The only thing about the giggle I feel like they could have done differently is the way they introduced the titles. So, when they introduced, the credits came in after where you had the doll.
Yeah.
They did it then, but I think they should have done it when when the doctor is staring at the toy maker and he's waving, and
Oh yes.
Donna's
Yeah.
saying, "I want my dad to be safe." I think that would have been the perfect time to enroll the title. Um,
Yeah. Def
I think because I felt it was good when they did it with the doll, but I just feel like it would have been more meaningful, especially when you're talking about Wolf.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I know exactly what I mean. Yeah. It felt a bit. No, I wouldn't say out of place, but it just felt a weird moment to have the titles roll. Yeah.
Yeah, like you didn't think that, and I'm watching it with family and saying, "Oh, it's David Tent's last episode. We've got to watch it."
Yeah.
And I think my auntie watched it as well, and she don't normally like Doctor Who. Well, not that she don't like it, but she just doesn't really watch it. And like now,
Yeah,
she really enjoyed it. She's gonna watch the new series when it airs. So
yeah.
it's great. But what did you think of the Bi generation?
I I love the concept of it. I love the idea of it. Um, I think it, not that it didn't make sense, but I just, no matter how many times I've watched the giggle, I just can't. Not that I can't accept it, but I just like, I'm like, why? Like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Let me put it that way. I'm
Yeah.
very mixed about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was rumored for a while. It was
Yes,
rumored.
I did hear the whole rumor about it, and I kind of was leaning on the side of, oh, I hope that they don't do that. Um, and then as soon as he didn't regenerate, when David's doctor was shot, I thought, oh God, they're doing it. They're doing it. But it was done well. But I just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like the idea of there now being two doctors out there, and then
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Like, did you see the clip? I think Doctor Who released it last year. Not last year, what am I saying? Last week. Um, and the 15th Doctor is saying, I'm the one of me in the whole wide universe. Um,
Yes.
and that's from the new series. And it's quite funny because there's lots of people saying in the comments, like, I think I said it as well, and saying, well, they've got the 14th Doctors on Earth. But
Mm,
I kind of disagree when people say that the 14th Doctor is on Earth. But it doesn't mean that he means he's the only 15th Doctor out there, not Doctor. So
yeah.
it can be a really complicated thing to say, but I don't know. Today it looked like he was possessed or something. It looked like he was very evil when he was saying that. I thought,
Yeah. Right.
um,
Yeah, so I don't hate the idea of it. I don't love the idea of it. I saw the thing of Peter Davison saying he doesn't understand, like he doesn't know why they did that. I kind of have to, I kind of lean towards him. I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree with Peter Davison. I don't know why they did. I get it, but I'm like, um, but I don't think it's a terrible idea. I love the concept of it. I just, yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
I felt like when we're watching it, everyone's saying, what's happened? Well, what's going on?
Yeah,
And it's like, well, we'll just split.
yeah,
And I think it's a good idea. But I guess for a 60th anniversary, that everyone's gonna be so upset about David Tennant if he did regenerate again. Um,
yeah,
so doing it the way they done it was great in the sense, and I think in a way that Russell T Davies has a chance to bring David back
yeah,
if
yeah,
he wants
definitely.
to again.
And look, I loved the chemistry between David and Shooty. I thought they were great together and bounced off each other really well. Yeah, I thought they worked so well together. But yeah, no, yeah, I'm not sure, not quite sure, not sold on it.
Yeah, and I feel like when Shooty does eventually regenerate, I don't want by generation. I want an actual regeneration.
Yeah,
Because I feel it was okay for David because he's already done a regeneration anyway. We've already
yeah,
said goodbye to him before, but we want to have
yeah,
the chance to say goodbye to Shooty as well.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. You don't want to take that moment from him. You want to be able
yeah,
to give him the
uh,
opportunity to have his own kind of, regeneration moment. Yeah, definitely.
that's what you look forward to when you're the Doctor, especially if you're an
Mm,
actor as well. So you don't want to like, yeah, like I saw people complaining saying Shooty didn't get to have the old Doctor's clothes, which he did in a way. He had some of it. uh,
yeah.
But I think when the Doctor got his own new TARDIS, because Shooty's is the new
Mm,
TARDIS. They've got two, and I feel like that maybe why the TARDIS ain't working anymore. In the new series when the TARDIS
yeah,
something's going
yeah.
on
That's a
wrong
good
with it.
point, actually. Yeah,
So maybe the TARDIS is it's maybe a reward, but not really. Why would the
yeah,
toy Why would the toy maker reward you? I
yeah,
didn't get that. Why would you get a reward for beating him? He would want to give.
yeah,
He wouldn't want to give you anything.
yeah. That's a very good point. I didn't think of that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Um. And yeah, it felt a bit like how did Shooty know that? How did he know
Yeah.
he could just do that, get the hammer, and the TARDIS
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but like, yeah, I'm with you. It's not the worst thing in the world. I think the way Russell sees it, I think on like what on the watch along when you can watch him, he commentates on it. He's saying, I can see every doctor still out there now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he means future doctors. I mean, it's a good way to. It's an easier way for doctors to come together, I guess. Like they're
Yeah.
just there.
Yeah.
They're,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's more complicated when it is just regeneration, wasn't it? Like you had to do something in
Yeah.
time to meet another doctor, but now it's more simpler.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Especially with the whole Guardians of the Edge that we saw in the Power of the Doctor as well. It makes it a lot easier for Peter Davison or Colin Baker or someone to come back for a cameo. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And do you remember in the 60s we got a trailer of a shot of Shooty just sitting there like he was praying, like he was some god,
Hmm.
in it, and we thought that was in the 60th, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
And maybe it was in the Christmas special and it wasn't. So surely that has to be in the new series.
Well, I think that same shot is in one of the trailers as well. I noticed
Yeah,
that the other
it
day,
is.
and it looks like he's wearing the like black leather coat that he wears um, that he was seen filming him with Bonnie Langford with Mel.
Mm,
So I'm thinking maybe it's in that episode, which I think is the series final. I'm not quite sure. Um, so
yeah.
I'm thinking it's. I think we'll definitely see it in the season, in this upcoming season for sure.
Feel like we might see that might be his more frequent item of clothing, the leather jacket,
Yeah,
because he seems to be wearing that a lot. Um, like I think that it might be in Boom where we see him wear it first, but we might not. Because it could either be the Emperor of Death as well, but yeah,
yeah.
it just when he's on the motorbike with Mel, it just reminds me of when the Doctor's on the motorbike going up the Shard with Matt, like the 11th
Yeah,
Doctor.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they play that music tune. Yeah, I think it was Bar Bar Biker, I think it's called, where you're going up.
Yeah.
It'd be
Quite
nice
right.
if they played that. They probably won't, but it'd be funny.
A bit of a throwback. Yeah,
um, I imagine it won't when they're running away from this big storm.
yeah,
Yeah, but the graphics and like just in the trailer itself, like it's so good. Like like the
yeah.
graphics,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like a big movie. It looks like.
yeah. Like the special effects look incredible. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially of that scene you're talking about, that storm sort of sweeping through the street. That looked really, really cool. And again, like us mentioned before, Russell T Davies is great at sort of nailing that. It's really the end of the world kind of vibe, and that's the vibe I got from that scene of the storm going through the street. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's surely got to be an overarching villain in this series, and I don't think that's going to be
Oh,
Miss Flood. I don't think we're going to find out who she is until potentially the second series.
yeah.
Um,
I saw there was some news today, today or yesterday, I think I saw it, of Russell T Davies saying that Ruby's story is going to go over 2 years, so 2 seasons. So I think a lot of the answers we're going to get. I don't think we'll get much this season. I think it's going to happen in season 2. I don't think we're going to get as much as we want.
we'll get some. Like I think they're going back to
Mm.
Ruby Road, like the church on Ruby Road, probably in the Legend of
Yeah,
Ruby Sunday. So I think we'll find out who Ruby is this season. That's the one thing we should find
yeah.
out. Who she is, where she come from. Maybe not where she's come from, but we might find out who that hooded figure is that we saw on the church
Mm.
on Ruby Road. But we will find out
Yeah, I
some.
think we're very much going to be. We're definitely going to be teased with a few things. I think.
Yeah, be left on a cliffhanger, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Something's
Uh,
gonna happen where Ruby has to go home, I think, or something, because I don't think she's in the Christmas special this year. Um,
yeah, I think it was someone from that
yeah,
Irish actress. I don't now.
yeah.
My mind is completely blank. I can't think of
I
this. Derry Girls or something. I think it's called.
I can't remember her name either.
Yeah, no, but I can picture in her face as well. But I can't think of the actor's name. But yeah, she's in this year's Christmas special. She was seen on set, and it was confirmed as well. So yeah, she might be like we've had like Astrid Peth and Lady Christina de Souza. She might just be like a one-off kind of
Yeah.
one-time companion.
Yeah, I think she's just like a guest star because that's what they said,
Yeah,
didn't they, when they announced it? I'm going to be a guest star in Shooty's upcoming season, and that made it look
yeah,
like she was in the series because when you say it like that, it's like she could be one of the episodes, but what she means is
mm,
Christmas special.
yeah.
So maybe she weren't allowed to say that.
No, I think they have to keep a very tight lip, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a
Mm.
shame. Doctor Who is so spoilery, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah, because when I spoke to Paul McGann last year, and he said that he had to when the episode he was in for the 50th, it had to be released earlier on his birthday because of the spoilers for it.
yeah, yeah. It does not surprise me, and that's what I mean. Like with the release dates of these first two episodes all around the world, you need to be very, very careful now. Unlike 10 years ago, you need to be very, very careful. Because the spoilers are going to be everywhere. So
Yeah,
you need to go on the internet at your own risk. I think when these episodes come out.
yeah, because especially if you have Twitter or especially
Mm.
there. I mean, someone has an account on there basically is goes to filming and records it and shares it online.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I would if I had to choose, I'd prefer not to have any spoilers at all. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'll happily share the footage I've seen purely because there's no point now. Loads of people have seen it, so it's not
Mm.
really spoiling anything. And sometimes when we see these videos, we don't have the full context, so it's not a massive spoiler. But like I remember when seeing video when Ruby's going round the TARDIS, well, which we saw in the Christmas special. I remember we saw that, um, and it's not a massive spoiler, but we saw that in the sense that we know what she's doing.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like a lot of these videos that are filmed in public are are like the actors sort of just running down the street. So as you said, like a lot of it's without context. And as I mentioned before, like it's great to see it all come together in the episode. You see these filming videos and then see it in the episode, you're like, oh yes, I remember seeing that on Twitter 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Like it's cool.
Yeah,
But
and I'm amazed how people find where they actually film. Um,
mm, oh yeah,
yeah. How do you know? Unless you get informed, I guess.
yeah,
Because I know when
yeah,
they did the
definitely.
60th, they had everyone had a letter through their door saying it's gonna be we're gonna be up through the night making explosions and stuff like that, which is crazy. It's crazy because I spoke to the actor who plays Dorian a few years ago. Um, And you know the scene where his head is just there, he's in the box, and the doctor's saying he has a little speech at the end of the episode, saying
Yeah,
like I can't remember what all the words were, but he said that was filmed at 4 o'clock in the morning on a cold. It was freezing. It was freezing. And you
yeah,
wouldn't think when you watch it, you think, hang on, it's surely not that late in the day, but sometimes they do all night shoots, and
yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah. That's nuts. But
Spending months in Wales filming Doctor Who.
yeah, exactly. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. But I hope this new series will have hour per episode. I hope.
yeah, that's what I mean. I think because we've only got 8 plus a Christmas special, so I'm with you. I'm hoping they're at least 60 to 70 minutes each. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Like I was hoping the 60th would be longer. Like I know the episodes are an hour, more or less an hour long, but I mean it's funny. I laugh to this day still. You know when Russell did like before the last episode come out, he put a video put on saying the giggle is more. There's loads of spoilers, so watch out when you come online. I think they should do that every episode. To be fair, they should do that. Spoilers ahead because Dot 2 just posted, don't they? The actual page. They just post it as
Yeah,
soon
yeah,
as it's on.
exactly.
They don't leave it. Um, so you just know. Don't go on Doctor Who page when you watched it. But you were saying that the giggle has got lots of spoilers in it. It's more than an hour long. It's 1 hour, 1 minute. I mean, I just think he's surely having a joke. You feel like when he says that because it's just
Yeah.
one
Oh
minute
yeah.
longer than an hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. If I ever speak to him, I have to mention that to him. I'm saying longer than an hour, 1 minute longer.
Yeah. Give them a piece of your mind and the length of the episodes. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Um, but I do think we needed for a 60th anniversary. You would think longer than an hour, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Like, especially the last one, because I felt the giggle went pretty fast.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I wanted to see more of Neil Patrick Harris as the toy maker, but like you said, it just felt like there was not enough of him because the episode went so quickly. And there was so much jam packed into this episode for a villain that we hadn't seen for what 50 something, what 58 years or something like that since the 60s anyway. So I think that it definitely should have gone for longer than an hour to introduce that villain, or just have him appear in all three episodes. But that didn't happen.
Yeah, they thought the toy maker came because of salt, the salt
Mm,
in the.
yeah,
I mean, I think that was a bit lame. That was a bit lame to say that. That was the reason.
yeah,
I don't think it was. I think the toy maker
yeah,
just
yeah.
was there. Um, but like I think the longest episode we've had is actually Jodie Whittaker's one. I think it was over 1 hour, 40
I think
minutes,
it
I
was like
think.
90 minutes, something. I think I'm not sure.
Yeah,
80 or 90. Yeah.
and that record was previously by the end of time, part
Yes.
two, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was an hour and a half. So surely, I don't expect the first few episodes not to be. I think Boom is about 50 minutes long. I think Stephen Moffat said
I'm
that.
hoping they're at least 50 to 60 minutes
Yeah, 50,
each.
60.
Especially only because we've only got 8 of them. I'm hoping they're a little bit. I mean, they will be a little bit longer. They won't be 40 minutes each. I'm hoping they're at least 50 to 60, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Like Paul McGann, when I spoke to him, he said to me because like around time, like he said if Doctor Who, because back in the day they were like 30, 20 minutes, um,
Mm,
would you mind if it was 30 minutes now and the episode was good? And I was
yeah,
like, I wouldn't mind actually. I wouldn't mind if they were 30 minutes and they were good. But at the same time, I'd much rather a longer episode. Just
yeah,
uh, but if they're good, they're good. You don't want a 30-minute episode and it's not good. But yeah,
exactly.
it's really interesting.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind. Like, obviously, with classic Who, there was each story was separated into like 3 or 4 parts. I wouldn't mind something like that with 30 minutes each. But otherwise, yeah, just longer episodes.
And more. There was more
Yeah, yeah,
episodes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I guess they don't have more purely because I don't know. Most series now are about 6 episodes.
Yeah, much shorter. Yeah,
Not like they used to be. Like used to have the 12 episodes.
yeah,
And of course, I think we'd rather more episodes than 8, but they have to be good. I think.
yeah. The writing's the most important part for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think having 8 episodes is a dangerous way to go about things. Purely because you need these 8 episodes to be very good episodes. Because if they're not, you fear you like with Jodie. Not that she was bad. She's a very good doctor. I loved her, but it was just
Yeah,
some episodes weren't as good as they should have been.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you mentioned the Sea Devil episode. That was probably better than some episodes that she's done, but it
yeah.
just felt an unfinished story.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, especially because we hadn't seen the Sea Devils for so long. I was so excited to see the Sea Devils come back after. It was it's such an exciting time to introduce them to a younger audience and into the new era of to New Who, and yeah, I just felt they weren't the Sea Devils themselves. I thought was written really well, but I thought that the story was, I don't know, it was lacking something. It wasn't great.
Yeah, I mean, it was just it reminded me of Assassin's Creed or something, or just fighting ships. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, like Jodie used Geronimo in there from Matt Smith.
yeah,
Um, I don't know if that was lazy on Chris Chibnall's part, just saying that, but it, those were the episodes that you wait nearly a year for, though. because
Yeah.
we missed a few years with Jodie. Oh yeah, we didn't have a year till like what one of those Dalek ones, one of the Dalek stories that was recorded 2 years in advance before it was aired.
Yeah, I think I read that. Yeah.
Yeah, um, and it was that Robinson guy, the one where he was in it. He came back. Um,
Yes. Yes.
and when he came back, I actually didn't know who he was. Like they were saying he's come back, and I was like,
Yeah, they made it seem like, it's something to be celebrated and excited about. We were all kind of like, okay, like,
I mean, and then I
almost a
found
character,
out
you
he
know.
was in the Spider episode, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I never thought that was an entirely good episode because I don't know. I don't think
No,
they.
it wasn't great.
Yeah,
It's okay, but it was nowhere near great. No, definitely not.
there's big spiders in the bath.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
It's,
but yeah, no, they announced that as if we should all be so super super excited to see him come back. We were all kind of like, oh, okay, righto.
I mean,
But
I just laughed at his character to be honest because he was just a liar in the end. But I mean, I do think they should do warnings though, Doctor Who in certain episodes because certain episodes can potentially trigger people. Um,
oh yeah,
like if an episode has suicide references in it, maybe
yeah,
put that on the title
yeah.
and because you just don't know how and spiders as well. I mean, people are scared of spiders. I'm not scared of spiders,
Oh yeah.
but there are people out there petrified of them, and especially if they're massive. um,
So ones the sizes of pillows and things. Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, they just maybe should do that. I don't think they did do that, but it's a thing for the future, I guess. Maybe they didn't have the budget, but I'm sure they can easily put that in.
yeah. Especially now with Disney Plus, involvement. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Um, like I think you had in the giggle a little bit of that reference at the start when David Tennant was with the old man at the start in the
Mm.
street. I think a few people got quite offended. Not offended, but kind of maybe it's quite a trigger. But
Yeah,
yeah,
moment. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. But that's just little things that you could pick out.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely.
I'm sure you could do that with any episode. But yeah, like the Sea Devil one, I was actually really looking forward to that to like you because there was a whole hype around the Sea Devils coming back and
Yeah,
um yeah. There was almost like there were these kind of warriors, weren't they? It was almost like there were these warriors in the episode kind of type
I
vibes.
love Pirates of the Caribbean, and I love a good pirate story. So I was very excited for that kind of aspect as well. But I thought that was handled terribly as well. It just didn't feel like a swashbuckling pirate story. Um, yeah. Oh, well.
And they loved like River Song gets mentioned as well in that
Mm,
episode.
yeah,
Um which was a bit bizarre. The whole storyline was very fast with Yaz and the Doctor. I felt
yeah,
it's not like I mean the Doctor. I like when I have a Doctor like a best friend relationship rather than a falling in love one.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm very much on the same page. I feel like romance in Doctor Who doesn't translate well. It doesn't fit. It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Like it seems the Doctor always well a lot of the companions tend to fancy the Doctor, but the Doctor doesn't see it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, and something that the 13th Doctor said was, "I would." It's almost like she's saying, "I would be with you," but she can't.
Yeah,
Um, and I felt that was a bit weird thing to say, considering that the Doctor is married.
yeah.
um,
Exactly. He's got a
to
wife somewhere.
yeah. Um, but yeah, there's certain paths that the Doctor can't cross. So, um, but I did think the ending of Yaz's story was a bit weird, where you just say, like, if I was the Doctor's companion, I'm sure you'd be the same. I wouldn't just leave just because he said.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
it'd be a hard decision to make to leave the TARDIS, I think.
yeah. and it's sort of like she told Yaz, "I can't do this anymore," and she just goes. She just
Yeah,
goes. Um, I think it would have been interesting if Yaz did stay on the 14th Doctor. I think
yeah,
that would have been interesting to have. But I think Yaz had to. She would have gone anyway because it's a new era of the show.
yeah. I think it definitely would have been great to see Russell T Davies write for Yaz as well. I think to see her
Yeah.
under his kind of writing would have been, yeah, it would have been interesting for sure.
Yeah. I'd love to see Matt Smith and Shooty in an episode together. I think that'd be great. Bounce off each other, awesome.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but there's like spin-offs. I think we won't see them yet. Next few years, potentially next year, maybe. I think they just want to see how the series goes first, like the
Yeah,
first
definitely.
series. And then if it does really well, they'll potentially implement a spin-off.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we'll start seeing the building of that universe again, like we saw with with Torchwood and Sarah Jane Adventures and that sort of thing.
yeah. It works well. I think this time of year is the best time to have a Doctor Who series on. I
Mm,
much prefer it. I didn't really like it when it was on later in the year. Like we had one in December, didn't we? Um,
yeah, yeah,
with Jodie. Um, and then we've had them all different parts of the years. In the year we had some into August before, but I think this is the perfect time to have it. It lasts about 2 months a series anyway.
yeah,
Um,
definitely. And it's nice to have like something else on that's in the same universe as Doctor Who while we wait for new Doctor Who. It's great to kind of revisit that in a different show, in a different format, while we wait for the Doctor to go on more adventures. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
it's almost like you're not really missing out. So you have
Mm,
Doctor Who maybe May, April, then maybe September, August. You might have a spin-off.
yeah,
And a spin-off might consist of more episodes as well. They'll probably have that
yeah,
little more flexible things because they can do more in the spin-off. Not that they can't in Doctor Who, but you'll have maybe extra characters that you can put in it. Um, depending on what your spin-off is about. Um, because they could do lots of different ones if they wanted to. A bit like
yeah,
how they do with Marvel and Star Wars, but you don't want to copy them. But I think that's what Russell has said he wants Doctor Who to be like. He wants it to be like their own
yeah,
Marvel universe, so like our old Doctor Who universe.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I did see him say something like that, which I think would be awesome, especially with this brand new big budget. But it's one of those things where, as much as I love Doctor Who and I want so much new Doctor Who content, I also don't want to be like, okay, that's a bit too much. But
Yeah, you
we'll
do.
see.
But like with the new companion, who's going to be in it?
Mm,
We don't know the name of the companion, but she was from Star Wars series, like spin-off.
yes, yeah,
I've never seen it. I should really before I actually see her in Doctor Who. So I've seen her in something.
very good in it. She's a very, very good actress in it. Yeah,
Yeah, I think she's the main character. So uh, I think she's going to be great, and I hope. I kind of get this feeling from seeing filming that she may be potentially as a past companion. Like,
yeah, I've seen that, which we haven't had that in New Who before. So I'm really hoping she is from I think one of the first filming photos of her was in like a 50s, 60s kind of dress. So I'm hoping she's from like, yeah, a different time period. I think that would be really, really cool. And to see her then sort of kind of freak out with the way the world has changed, I think that would be really awesome to see from her eyes.
yeah, I feel like it seems like that there's going to be two in the TARDIS.
Hmm.
It's going to be interesting how she comes along. So maybe it's going to be interesting because I don't think the Doctor goes to find a new companion if Ruby's going to still be in the TARDIS. So
Yeah,
potentially something's happened to a certain character.
yeah,
Um, um, like yeah, it's very interesting what's going to happen, but I feel like Millie won't be in every episode. I think that new companion will have solo episodes with the Doctor as
yeah.
well, but you also have parts where maybe Ruby goes home. But
Yeah, that's also the vibe that I sort of got from the filming photos. Yeah,
yeah, because you didn't always have Ruby in presence with the new companion Vereda. Um,
yeah,
So I felt like she'll be in a few episodes, but Vereda will be the overall companion, but Millie will pop in and out.
Yeah, I think it'll be very much a mix of the two, which will be interesting to see.
Yeah, and we haven't had that. I know we can't really count 30th Doctor's companions because there was about 400 TARDIS.
Mm,
But we haven't just got. I think it's a good balance to have two. I think any more
yeah,
than two is a bit crowded. I like two.
yeah, I think two's a nice kind of nice number to have with the Doctor in the TARDIS. Yeah, we had like Amy and Rory and Rose and Mickey and Bill and Nardole. So yeah, I think two companions works quite well.
Yeah, one is good, but I think two
Mm,
is even better.
yeah,
Um, and it looks like I don't know. I think Ruby maybe go and get herself a boyfriend. I think I saw like in series two as
yes, I did
well.
see the photos of that as well. Yeah.
So maybe he comes in the TARDIS, perhaps.
Mm,
Or this new boyfriend is maybe a villain. I don't know. It's very interesting. Um,
yeah,
like with Jinx's characters, there's rumors it could be the Rani, it could be the Master, but I think I wouldn't want to see the Master to at least series two if there is going to be a Master in it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, I very much agree. I think the Master kind of needs to take a little break with the Master. I'd love to see the Rani come back. I think that would be awesome to bring her into it, to the new era. Um, but yeah, I think the Master, yeah, needs a bit of a break as well. I think, yeah.
I agree. I agree. If it is, I think her nickname is the Maestro. I think that's what they call her.
Mm, yeah,
And that can mean master. But you could be master of many things. You might not be the master of Time Lord, but you could be the master of music or
yeah,
something like that.
exactly.
A lot of people look a lot into these things, and they
Yeah,
like like with Millie, that like months ago there was everyone saying
mm,
she's leaving, she's gonna leave, but like I did a video the other day saying don't always listen to the papers,
yeah.
because they over exaggerate things and
And now
some
Russell T
yeah
has also just confirmed. He said no, it's not true.
no it,
He pretty much just said the papers were all full of rubbish, and then there was
yeah.
none of what was being reported was true, which is
And
good.
just not just the papers, just fans as well.
Mm.
Just
Fans thinking too much into it and then making up these wild rumors. Yeah,
yeah. And I won't like. I think when I first found out that new companion's going to be in it, shared a photo of it and like people saying, "Oh, I can't believe Ruby's leaving." And then when it's confirmed, I say I don't believe anything until the BBC announces it themselves.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
because you don't want to create rumors. And I think at the time, luckily for Millie, she was on holiday, so I think
yeah,
she probably did see the rumors, and it's not very nice for
yeah.
that to
Exactly.
happen.
Yeah,
And
uh,
I'm glad that she's probably got affected, especially in her mental health. I reckon.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah, for sure. She would have seen it all online, and yeah, it's awful because her first series hasn't even come out yet. So
no,
to see that sort of thing,
yeah,
yeah,
like even probably for us, we would maybe debating is it true or not because Russell is known for that. Maybe it's,
yeah,
what like he's done it before. Like we've had
yeah,
Martha one series, Don one series, Rhodes maybe two, but one with David. Um,
yeah,
so it's happened before, but I feel like it's not fair on her. She's young. She's young.
yeah, yeah,
She's only 19,
yeah, exactly.
and it can really affect you, especially being on set on her own for a long time as well.
Mm,
With Shoot being on sex education, so um, yeah, it's good that that's all out now. That people
yeah.
can just say,
It's nice that Russell has basically said, "Shut up, it's not true." I like that. I
yeah,
like that he's very much shut that down, which is good.
yeah. Then we can just enjoy it. We can enjoy it. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know. Okay, I think there's a 2 year Disney deal, Doctor and Disney, and I think people look too much into that as well. That they think, hang on a minute, is Doctor Who just doing two series with shoot? I don't think that's the case. I think that's just a deal that you make,
yeah,
and then you can extend that deal
yeah,
near enough. when it's near at that time.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Um, but what do you think? Do you think Shoot is gonna do? How many series do you think he's gonna do?
From what I was reading, I read something the other day, and I read something a couple of weeks ago as well. He's very much enjoying it, which is great to hear. Um, so I'd like to say that he's going to be around for 3 or 4. I think 3. I reckon 3 will be it. I think after 3, I reckon we might get a new doctor. Um, we've obviously got him for the 2, so I think 2, and yeah, I reckon maybe 3 we might have him for.
Yeah.
Um, like most of the people who've played the Doctor, they've always said they don't want to overstay their welcome and they don't want to start not enjoying it. So he's like Shooty has said, he's at the point now where he's really, really loving it. Like he's loving playing his character. So I reckon we'll get him for maybe 3, and then he'll kind of bow out. That's my theory.
Hmm. I think it's the common, isn't it? 3 series
Yeah,
per Doctor. I mean, I want it to be 4 purely because I just want that cycle to break. The 3 series. Ever since David Tennant was the Doctor, everyone's had 3.
yeah,
Um, which I just want it to break the cycle. But I agree. I think we're potentially going to see a new Doctor before Shooty's last series. We'll probably
yeah.
find out. The easiest option for Russell is the one who was going to be it because Shooty was before Shooty audition. Russell decided who it was. I had an idea who
Mm,
he was going to pick, but then Shooty came in and stole it. So maybe he
yeah,
might go back to that, or he'll just open applications open for anyone.
yeah.
Um,
They'd be interesting to see if he goes back to one of his other choices that he had, and to see who that was would be really, really interesting as well.
yeah, it's going to be cool. I think. I think Shooty's here for
Mm,
a while. Yeah, like the years go fast, but like with Jodie, it felt a long time purely because Doctor Who wasn't progressing very much, and the
yeah,
series just felt we didn't have years. We didn't have series a year. We had a lot of gaps. Um,
yeah,
and yeah, so I feel like it's going to be a bit different this time. So it'll be a bit quicker the Doctor process. Um,
yeah.
but if they're doing spin-offs, he might be there a bit longer because I'm sure he'll want to appear in a spin-off if there,
Yeah, exactly.
if there's one going about. Um, do you have a favourite Doctor at all, or do you have one that's
I'm I'm one of those annoying people who says no, I don't. I love all of them in their own way. Um, if I had to pick, it would probably be David or Matt, mainly because I grew up with them.
mm,
Um, but no, I wouldn't say I'd have a favorite Doctor. Like I love watching classic Doctor Who. There's so much to love about each incarnation of the Doctor. So for me, I don't know. I've always found it very hard to find a Doctor that I'm like, that's my favorite. Yeah.
yeah, I completely understand because it's hard to pick out, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just
exactly. We've got so many to pick from, and then, like I said, there's so many different characteristics of each Doctor that I just love. So yeah,
maybe the one you start with is normally you can't have a lot of respect for that whoever the Doctor is that
definitely. Like
you.
if I really, really had to pick, it would be Matt or David. Mainly because yeah, I grew up. The first Doctor I saw was David, and then I grew up with Matt. So it'd be one of those two, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice.
Mm.
Is it the same scenario? Is it a bit different when you choose companions? Like your favorite companions?
A little bit. So like I love a couple of I've got a few favorites. So obviously Donna, I love Donna Noble. Um, love Joker. I love Ace. Love Sophie Aldrin. I love Ace. I love the chemistry between the Seventh Doctor and Ace. I think Ace is just such a cool character. So maybe my top 3 would definitely be Donna, Ace, and Sarah Jane. I think would be my top 3 companions. Yeah, they're
Nice.
definitely my 3 favorites.
Yeah, Ace is good. Um,
Mm.
I spoke to her last year actually. Um,
Yes, I did see that. I'm
yeah,
so jealous. He's
yeah.
so good.
I bet you think. I bet you reckon. How do I manage that? How do I get her on?
Mm.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be meeting her. I haven't actually met her. I've never met her in person. I'm going to a convention in June. Um,
Yeah.
and she might not recognise me because I'll be in cosplay. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I said to her, I'm gonna see you in a few months. Got a convention, and I want you to recognise me. um, I'm sure she will if she remembers.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sarah Jane, I love that she got mentioned in the 60th. I think that was really good of them to
Yeah. Yeah.
mention that. Yeah, like for my top companions are Rose. I love Rose. I
Yeah.
love Martha actually. I've heard
Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
when people meet Martha, she's really well. Freema, she's lovely. So
Mm.
I'd like to meet her one day. Rosemar, David, Karen, like there's so many of them. Like it's harder. I think it's harder to pick a companion over than a doctor. Really, I think a doctor is just a little bit easier. Although it's hard, but you have more companions than doctors, so it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what about villains? You have a favorite villain?
Hands down the Daleks. Love, 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 love a good Dalek story. Like I said before, I just nothing beats for me. Nothing beats a good Dalek story. So I very much think that they do need a break, but I do love going back and revisiting some of the previous Dalek stories.
Do you
Yeah,
have do you have a favorite Dalek design?
I love the originals from the '60s. The sort of light blue grey. I think that simplicity works really well. Love the bronze Daleks for sure. Um, I really enjoyed Chris Chibnall's design. I think it was different. It was cool. I like that it didn't, that they were there for a purpose. And then, we didn't see them for very long. But they were there because they were supposed to look so technologically advanced. Um, but I love, weirdly, I don't know why I love this Dalek specifically, but I love the special weapons Dalek from Remembrance of the Daleks. Just that really completely different, odd design, I think was really, really cool as well. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, there's so many good designs, and it's really
mm,
interesting to see the new ones that's going to be coming on
yeah,
very
I'm
soon.
excited to see what's going to be done with them next. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the. I think the bronze Daleks is what you. The bronze Daleks, I like them. I like them. With the Dalek story with Dalek Sec. I like the black
Mm.
ones and the bronze ones. I like
I
how
do love
they related
the
them.
Red Supreme Dalek from the Journey's End, the Stolen Earth. I think that was
Yeah.
really cool as well.
I like that
Really.
one. I also like the one, the Emperor of the
Mm.
Daleks in the Ninth Doctor's Part of the Ways.
Yeah.
That's a good one. It's actually a pretty scary one because it's a massive, massive thing.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, I reckon they built that, or it was CGI, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It must take. I think this is why Doctor Who's may take a while, like a year to see, because they put all these, they make all this stuff, they make all these
Mm.
costumes.
Yeah. So much work goes into it. Yeah.
So that's probably why. If they had, I know Disney helps, but if they had, I don't know, a lot of
Yeah.
it would be, would get sooner. But I don't think we wait too long. A year goes fast.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it does. But before we go, Liam, do you have a favourite quote in Doctor Who that you like or that you kind of relate to yourself?
Ooh. Um. Oh God, that's such a hard question. There's so many good
I,
quotes.
I
I
know there's
love
loads.
I love the 12th Doctors. I love Peter Capaldi's quote in his regeneration of being kind. I think that's especially nowadays in the world. I think that's something that resonates so well with everything that goes on in the world. Um, yeah, I think that's one that sticks out to me a lot. A lot of the quotes from Vincent and the Doctor, a lot of the quotes that are in that episode as well, are just such gorgeous quotes that really resonate well with like mental health and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one of my absolute favorites is definitely the 12th Doctor's sort of regeneration speech of always try to be kind. I think that like I said, that resonates so well in the world today, and it's something that you know could literally just be, yes, it's a Doctor Who quote, but you could literally say that anywhere. Like it can be used in any context, which is great.
It is. It's so
Mm.
good. There's so many good quotes. I like the 12th Doctor one always resonates with me as well. Although the 12th Doctor isn't my favorite Doctor, but I loved him in his last series. I think
Yeah,
it was his best one. Um, you could see the growth in him. I suppose
yeah, oh,
the first series wasn't the best. The
yeah,
second one was a little bit better, and then it just gets better and better. It was the
yeah.
first Doctor that took me a while to get onto. Like
Okay.
with David, Matt, and Chris, they were I got them straight away. I liked them.
Yeah, I was
But
very much the same with Peter Capaldi. It took me at least, I reckon at least halfway through series 8 before I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit more with this Doctor. Yeah, it did take me a while as well. Yeah, so I
yeah,
definitely,
I just feel like with Shooty, I really like him. Seen him one episode, seen little bits of the
mm,
giggle.
yeah,
Like him already, and
yeah. Literally, as soon as he split from David Tennant, I was very much like, oh, I love this energy. I love this energy. It was great. It felt very kind of Matt Smithish, very childlike, but yet so serious and so lovable. And yeah, I'm
I'm very
very much
excited.
excited. Yeah.
Very excited to see what he has to bring to the table. Because
Oh,
I mean, I could just rank him now as I was up there with my favourites. Even though I like every Doctor in their own way, but he's just I don't know. He's just got so
yeah,
much, like you say, energy about him, and
yeah. There's something about him already that just feels like, that's the Doctor, which is
yeah,
great. That's what you want.
yeah. I think that's the difference with his Doctor. He takes it like he says he's an admirer of David Tennant, so he takes his energy. He likes a bit of Matt Smith, so yeah. He did a video the other day saying his Doctor's got a lot of energy.
Mm,
He's so I like that a part of a Doctor. Like Peter Capaldi did have some energy, but not. It was more like the old man type of Doctor.
yeah, it was more of a grumpy old man kind of vibe, which I think worked well. But you need that kind of, I like that darkness to the Doctor, but you do need that kind of childlike energy of just wanting to zip around the universe as well. I think you need that right balance, I think.
He was quite sarcastic, Peter Capaldi, as a Doctor,
Mm,
but I think I would have liked to see him for one more year. I think I think he would have been good. I think Bill was. I can't believe the Bill is so sad, but I think she would have done
yeah,
good if she went on to the 13th Doctor. I
yeah,
think.
definitely.
It's a bit like Yaz as well. Would have been good. Went on to the 60th. So you could say about every companion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
like you could say, oh no, like Amy and Rory could do with Peter Capaldi. Yeah, that'd be interesting. But
Two
um,
Scott arguing with one another. That would have been very interesting to see, I think.
yeah, but it can happen. Like you had Clara and 10th Doctor for a little while in the 60th. So
Yeah,
um, yeah, I think it's all very interesting. Lots to look forward to, really.
yeah, I think there's a lot coming in the next, I say in the next month, next few years. I think we're going to be very spoiled, I think, as Doctor Who
Yeah,
fans.
we are. We definitely are. But
Yeah.
thanks, Liam, for coming on to chat about Doctor Who today.
No,
Um,
thanks for having me. I've loved it. It's been
yeah,
such a pleasure.
yeah, it's been really great. And to anyone listening, watching, if you've enjoyed this episode, um, I hope you do. But it's part of this month. There's a few episodes around Doctor Who because of May being Doctor Who month, and also there's a few mental health episodes as well. Because mental health month as well. So it's going to be kind of balanced between different episodes, different topics. But yeah, this was a really good one to do with Liam. And yeah, I know it's a bit late for Liam as well, so I, I know we said
It's
we
definitely
took a
worth
few
staying up
hours.
late to talk about Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
yeah, but yeah, but to anyone listening, watch. We hope you've enjoyed the rest of your day. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next episode.